Stay away from a person that purposely do things to make you feel how they felt. A person that like to do that tit for tat shit is a dangerous person because they will act like they are being genuine. They will act like everything is all fine. The whole time they tallying up all the times you made them feel away just so they could do it to you eventually. And then by the time you trying to address them about what they're currently doing, they want to make it seem like, well, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it. Stay away from people like that.
You know what I hate? At this big grown ass age, I hate the fact that other big grown ass people be wanting you to be mad about the stupidest and pettiest shit like we kids. Like, you don't gotta play tick for tack with me. I don't care. You ain't gotta move crazy waiting for a reaction out of me. I don't care. Like, people be wanting you to be mad about the stupidest shit. Like, I'm just not one of those people that get mad about dumb shit. Maybe back in the days, at one point in my life. But if it ain't about the money, if it ain't about growth, if it ain't about prosperity, if it ain't about building, there is nothing you can absolutely do to make me feel away. I don't care what you got going on, who you got it going on with, whatever the fact. As long as you're not effing with my money, as long as you're not effing with my peace of mind, as long as, like, okay. Like, okay. Like, that's what my vibration on is. That's the reaction. Like, don't waste your breath. Don't waste your energy trying to make me feel a certain type of way. It is really a waste of energy that you should invest that into doing something positive. I win.
Y'all don't have to excuse me. I just ate, so I might be a little gassy. But just I'm gonna try to get through this as much. Okay. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to do a video of things that I want us to be done with in 2025, so we can move on to 2026. This is one of them right here. Do I think it's gonna be done? Hell, fucking no, because we should have been done with this years ago. But it's tit for tat. What is tit for tat? It's just like, or what I'm going to describe tit for tat. Let's say, let's look at this one thread right here, right? This guy, Ramon 518. I don't know the brother, but I looked at his profile because I tell people all the time, Threads is rage bait central. If you want to be rage baited, go to Threads, because every one of them has some type of rage bait where it's just like, ooh, it's just like, ooh, that makes me angry. You know it's bait, and then it's just like, you're just there just to be baited and then commenting on some stupid shit. Like, I say this all the fucking time, and yet I still, like, I don't want to say I entertain it, but there's some things I just look at, it's just like, we have better things to do with our lives. We have really, first things first, we really need to use social media for the betterment of our lives and the community, not just this dumbass shit like race baiting that, even though I talk about it, it's really fucking dumb. And this is what I'm saying, like tit for tat. Now, what is tit for tat? Tit for tat is like, basically, I say with men and women, when they was talking about how men do this, and then men, like, we tell people, oh, no. Y'all do this too. Y'all just don't like it when you do it. And it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, this one right here, right? I'm trying not to be everywhere. Excuse me. Ramon 518. Men really sparing women's egos. A woman ego too fragile. It should be two O's. Too fragile. If men were really to keep it real and really tell y'all about yourself, y'all would never get over it. Now, before this even pops up, I want to tell you, the women uh, the women responded, and I guess the women was like, ma'am, because we saw how men acted over Dot beating Drake. We saw how men acted when Kamala and Hillary ran for president. I don't know what the fuck that was. We saw how men acted when Bud Light chose a trans spokesperson. That wasn't a threat. I don't think that was fragile. We see how men act when they get rejected, and this is going to be something that I talk about the most because women don't even like getting rejected. We're gonna get to that. How men acted about the bear versus the man question, because y'all don't understand why it was like stupid. And we were talking about the man and the bear and the stupid thing. Like, I tell people that's dumb, but we still think it's dumb. It's like, it wasn't that we was mad over it or easy was fragile. It was just like everybody was looking at it. This shit is dumb. This shit is dumb. And then women didn't like the fact, and the funny thing is, women didn't like the fact that we was calling y'all dumb for like picking a bear. It's like, no, you're fucking stupid for picking a bear. Because we saw men reacted to women choosing to be single. And again, this is tit for tat. When a man is like, y'all didn't like Save Yourself Black Men. Y'all don't like Passport Bros. And like the women were mad about that. Y'all don't like when men was just like they're choosing to be single themselves. Y'all don't like that. Y'all like now there's motherfucking videos of the men don't approach women no more. The women don't like coming up to women no more. What are y'all scared? Again, tit for tat. What I'm doing right now is tit for tat. We just saw how a man acted about Anthony Joshua. What the fuck does that mean? There are over 8,000 nerves in the clitoris, and it's still not as fragile and sensitive as a fucking man. They be in the comments talking about being killed. Man, watch out. This excuse. Man, watch out. The excuses never end. I think that's a dude. Yeah, it's a dude. Comments. And this would draw me to it because Melissa Ford was like, past the vibe check, and I was just like, oh, it had to do with women. You literally just described your pieces. Women have to fight and protect themselves every day because men can't handle rejection or regulate their emotions. I said, again, the last was me. Oh. Quick question. How often do women kill men? Because they got their egos hurt. Ain't no way you could spare me. Like, no fucking way. I guess I wanted this to do that. This is probably to do that. You look like a tall nigga. You saying this, but I know women that fucking go for niggas like this. She's saying this right now, but and in hindsight, she probably go for a nigga like this too. As a man, would you like me to use your own words against you, or is your ego not strong enough to take it? My toxic trait is I bully narcissists back and tell them about the self until it's out of my system. Would you like me to use your own words to take it? Hi, I don't want to interrupt your DL presentation. See, there you go. Right there, DL presentation. But real men do tell us about ourselves. We marry them. They know exactly how to sit us down and tell us exactly what we are wrong. Now the lame DL mom's basement ass boys they make posts about. It's giving he likes men and conventional. This right here. This is right here. This is a fragile ass comment. Like right here is a fragile ass comment. This is the first actually comment I saw, and then something like this. I literally have 3 stitches, 2 false teeth for apologizing to someone for not giving them my number. Literally, I'm sorry. I have a boyfriend, but thank you for the compliment. Boom, he hit me. So miss me with that ego bullshit. I can't lie that shit didn't happen. This shit happened to my little sister, and I'm gonna tell that story. And again, if you give me a minute, I'm gonna tell that story. I promise you, that you thinking you wouldn't die inside if you saw what your woman turns down in order to save your ego. And I'm just talking about you, because real niggas wouldn't dare to bust a woman's ego, tell you what to look. And look, my ex that I always talk about, beautiful woman, and I'm pretty sure she turned down niggas that was probably more handsome than me. That wouldn't bust my ego because I knew my girl. Matter of fact, there was times where, and I'm just talking about myself. I'm not saying this, but there was times where like, and girl, she's beautiful, but she did have her insecurities, and I did too. I'm not saying I'm not perfect, but she did have her insecurities. She did. She get jealous real quick, and that's the first thing I know. So I tried not to like do anything to make her feel jealous. That's me protecting her ego. But she knew how to press my buttons too. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, she knew how to press a nigga's button to where I never put my hands on her, but I had to, like, we had to check that shit. But anyway. Fragile egos. Yes, there are some men. There are some men who don't know how to take a no for an answer, and I've talked about the Deontay Carroll, but those men are very few and far in between, and usually them niggas get taken care of, and it's just like, but where does it come from? And it's just like, now the tit for tat is, as many stories I hear about a man doing some fragile shit to a woman, I can tell you many stories about women doing fragile shit to men. That's the tit for tat. I told people, there was one time I was in a strip club, and this chick, she dark skin joint, she had a BBL, she had a boob job, she had lip collagen, she like had every surgery to man and all that other stuff, and she wanted a dance. She wanted to dance for me, and I said, no, thank you, I'm good. Now I'm not no, like, I'm a big dude. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I ain't gonna hold you. But even then, like, looking at this woman, wasn't interested. Wasn't interested in the dance. Wasn't interested in a lap dance. And usually when I'm not interested in getting a lap dance from a girl, I go, no, thank you, I'm good. Now, this one in particular, she kept bugging me. And I don't know why, she just kept bugging me. And to the point where it's just like, no, thank you, I'm good. And then I can see her getting exponentially mad. You don't want to dance with this? She was just like, and then she hit me with the $40, I'll give you head or some shit like that. And I said, no, thank you, I'm good. I just wanted her to walk away, because most of the time they'll just walk away. You're like, you want to dance? You say, no, thank you, I'm good. You just walk away. I'm always polite like that. I'm not going to like embarrass you. Not, no. No, thank you, I'm good. There was one time where a girl just walked up on me. She just started dancing. I had to push up off her. And I was like, I'm good, thank you. Because, like, after that, they expect you to tip. And it's just, I just danced on you. And, like, sooner or later, I'm going to get the strip club etiquette thing. But the girl's like, I just danced on you and you ain't going to tip me. I was like, I'm good, thank you. I didn't want to dance, so you good. But anyway, it was the same thing. It was like, I didn't want to dance. And then she tried to embarrass me in front of everybody, but she just looked real stupid herself. She was like, this nigga ain't trying to get no pussy. And like saying that out loud in the club. And I was just like, Lord Jesus. So it got to a point where I stopped making eye contact. And I was just like, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. You can go. I'm good, thank you. And then, like, she got more and more aggravated. She got more and more aggravated to a point where she was just like, Jesus. That's my little sister, by the way, that we got hearing that sound in the background. She was getting more and more aggravated. Damn, she sent me 10 new messages. Oh, it's pictures. Oh, she's sending me pictures. My little sister's a photographer. Anyway, these are nice. Anyway, damn, everybody hit me up today. Where was I? The lady, she was basically getting mad, and then she threatened to get niggas to like rob me. Now, I done had that threat to me a bunch of times, which is why it's just like, y'all do have fragile egos. Now, this also pulls in my head, it's just like, a lot of men, like, yes, they put hands on it. I don't condone putting hands on it, which I got into another threads argument about that, but I don't want to talk about that. But anyway, are there dudes that do that? Yeah, and they should be dealt with. I always say them niggas should be dealt with. And like, but a lot of these dudes, they don't know how to, and I've said this, but and the Deontay Carroll rant is just like, I'm not responsible for them. I said, because I don't know them niggas, but if he was one of my people who was doing that, yeah, I check him then and there. I have done that. I said, my nigga, don't, it's like, don't, not that he's, any of the niggas I know, like, was like, fuck you, bitch, or some shit like that. But even if it was, I was like, bro, you ain't had to do all that. You could have just said, but, you know, if niggas is there, because I want people to understand, like, even the person who did that shit, he was mostly by himself. Because he wouldn't do that by himself. He wouldn't do that because other niggas would have did something to him. Most of the time, now, I'm sorry that this happened to her. The lady got 3 stitches, 2 false teeth, or some shit like that. I'm sorry that this happened to you. I guarantee, I would ask, was he by himself? Everybody's like, why by himself? Because people think like they do this around men. They know. No, you don't. Because if anybody's like men like me, you wouldn't let that shit happen. Like, you correcting that. It's like, most of the time you corrected that, or you would hang around that nigga again. I'm like, no, that nigga hit women. That nigga, I don't fuck with that shit. You gotta make them apologize, and then like, cause most of the time we do try to fix problems, and the problem is we know that most young niggas, especially when you start smelling yourself. A lot of niggas are like Vegeta. That's why a lot of people could like compare themselves to Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. Because Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, I'm still recording. Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z, every time when he got a new level, that nigga got sunned. And that shit was a fucking hit to his ego. Now, the biggest hit to his ego, and I'm gonna say this all the time, was Android 18. Because Android 18, like, embarrassed. No, don't get me wrong. Everybody that fucking Vegeta faced embarrassed him, but I think Vegeta got embarrassed the most by 18, and it took his pride because he was like, I've reached. I think that one hurt the most, and not because like Android 18 is a woman. Is not only that, it's because like I don't reach the pinnacle of my species as a Super Saiyan. Like Kakarot has done it. I'm calling him Kakarot. You know, I'm speaking of Vegeta. Kakarot has done it, and like I finally got to the point where I am a Super Saiyan myself. And the fact that someone that is not a Super Saiyan done fucked me up, that shit kind of like dealt with the ego, and it shit fucked him. And you could say like because she broke that nigga arm. Like she kicked that nigga in the arm. The nigga arm went limp, and then he started screaming. I was like, yeah, that shit hurt his pride. I keep telling him, I think Android 18. Now, don't get me wrong, Frieza was fucking that nigga up. Cell giving him the breaks. Goku at first, because he was like, he had to turn. Everybody's like, everybody was like, well, you know, technically Vegeta didn't lose that fight. Vegeta had to fucking pull out the stops for Kakarot because he was supposed to be a low class Saiyan. He was supposed to be easy work. And I tell people, he was like, the point of him even going as the great ape or Ozaru, that's what it is. Him going Ozaru was just like, I shouldn't even be doing this shit. He's like, you a low class Saiyan. I am the Prince of all Saiyans. Ain't nobody fucking with me. And then like this low class Saiyan is over here banging with me right now. And like when he knocked him into that mountain, and then when he exploded that mountain, that was his prime. He was like, what in the fuck? That shit hurt his. Vegeta was very fragile because his ego kept him. And every time where you reach where he's just like, I'm one of the strongest niggas and you can't fuck with me, and his attitudes like that, they had to sun his ass down. to a point where it's just like, fuck. But you know what he fucking did? He kept training, but every time it was just like reaching a new pinnacle. There's always someone there that's just fucking him up. That's why I was like, Vegeta had it. But I think a lot of niggas, but like I said, I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of niggas kind of like Vegeta, because he every time, because that's how most niggas feel, and that's how, well, in my opinion, for most people, it feels like every time when I do something, I get to a new level. There's always, like, at that level, there's always someone there that's trying to bring me down or some shit like that. So, but you know, you take that hit. And you get, now, don't get me wrong. The tit for tat shit is, I can tell people all the time. I know how many stories. Not just told you the story about the stripper. Like, and this is like, I just told you the story of the stripper, but I can tell you a couple of times when women is just like, they don't want to approach men, and not because it's not traditional, it's because they don't want to get rejected. I know some girls, it's just like, when you like get into an argument, the first thing they want to do is hurt your feelings to the point where it's just like they want you to feel how they feel. As men, we're not supposed to. That's why people say, as men, we're not supposed to stoop to a woman's level, because a woman usually stoops to this level. That's why I like that whole joke with that's why y'all see the joint. That's why your shoes are ran over. That's why your mama dead. A woman will go that low. Men, we understand, like, if we go that low, that you really want to do something about it. So that's why I say, like, that's why I said that, like, we understand violence more than women, because we know what can make a nigga go off. If he's like a mama's boy, or like his, God forbid, any of your families is deceased, and you say, fuck your dead mom. Like, I see them baddies all the fucking time. They go, yo, fuck your dead ass daddy. And then they get into a fight. Baddies is a whole thing of fragile ass female fucking, they fighting for no fucking reason. It's just, I needs that. It's just, every time, it's just like, instead of just being, suck it up and going somewhere else, it's just, I needs that. Oh no, he needs that. Our niggas is like that too. Yes, I always say hood. It's the funny thing is just like someone said, like, hood niggas and it says something along the lines of hood niggas and black women the same thing, because it's like it's because of their egos. It's just like you popping off at the same. Sometimes as men, we have to be the most controlled. Like, that's why I said this. What did I say? Let's go. Here's the thing. The women aren't wrong in the comments of fragile men, but I can tell you stories of fragile women as well. The same for other men. Tit for tat don't work. It just shows there's a bigger problem in the community. And that's where the fuck I want to get at. It's just like, we get to a point, and I say this about the panels and the podcasts, it shows that there's a bigger problem in the community. Why we bringing each other down? Why is the first thing you want to do is tear another person's ego down, especially if another person's doing good? Why the fuck do you want to tear them down? That's just, even in, like, let's say a nigga get in the hood and he want to show love to the hood, and dudes do this too. And I'm not saying this is like dudes. I'm talking about dudes. Nigga ain't really doing shit. Nigga just giving out. Like, you give out turkeys to the hood. I remember Charlemagne was talking about this. Nigga, what are you doing? I can tell you right now, it was just like, a girl, she was on her phone with another dude, and she mentioned my name. Or at least my tag name. It's Kino. And, like, I said something in the chat, and, like, he was like, she ain't trying to fuck you. And it's like, why did you even throw that out? It was like, I wasn't even on that type of time. I was like, I wasn't even on that type of time. It was like, why you trying to fuck? He was like, nigga, I can send you 5 racks right now, and he ain't gonna do nothing about it. And I said, send her the 5 racks. And I really wanted him to send her the 5 racks, because it's just like, hey, if you say what you, I said, you say what you, because I got that girl flowers, and she's never gotten flowers before. So, and she was real appreciative of flowers. And, like, because no one has never done that for her before. No one's like, because They're like, because she's a real beautiful girl sometimes. And I get this from, I understand this from, like, if you're really beautiful or someone really finds you beautiful, don't, most of the time they lust over you. They don't really like you. They really lust over you or some shit like that. And sometimes that is tiring. So when someone's just like, hey, I just, you know what, I'll give you flowers, you know, show you, and they treat you like a fucking human being, golly, the women like that. But anyway, it's like, he was like, I can tell he's like, his friends was hurt because she was mentioning me. And I was like, oh, and nigga go say something like, nigga, I can send them 5 racks or some shit like that. It was like, you stunting like that? I said, send them 5 racks. Now she was like, nigga, you ain't got 5 racks. And I was just like, you know, how you gonna tell me when I ain't got? I said, send them 5 racks right now. Since you was like, and the only reason because like you was talking all that big shit. And if you want to talk all that big shit, go ahead and send her the 5 racks. And the funny thing is, if you just send the 5 racks, I would have said, look, I enjoy those 5. I'd have just DM'd her and said, enjoy those 5 racks you got. I said, nigga, let's spend the money on you. Enjoy them 5 racks. But anyway, but I also know that I've seen where it's just like a dude that said no to a person and her feelings are hurt. Like, they cry. Like, yes, it's like a lot of women's egos is fragile too. Some women, like I said, some women don't even like going up to a man because if you said no, they get hurt and devastated. Now, as men, we got to do that shit. That shit hurt. And it's just like, the thing is about that is that no man, it's just like, yo, the worst thing you can say is no. And sometimes, and I've been here too, the women, y'all beat a nigga down when you say no, especially if you think he ugly. I can't stand with these ugly ass niggas. So like, that's when you're doing too much, and then you trying to hurt a nigga then you trying to hurt a nigga ego. Not only that, you trying to make him feel physically bad and emotionally bad to the point that nigga gonna lash out. Now I get it sometimes, and here's the story of my sister. She was in high school. And I'm gonna paraphrase this, but yeah, there was a dude that liked her, and she politely said, "I'm not interested." All that other stuff. I think he threw a chair at her or some shit like that. I graduated high school, so like, cause I can speak now. Around this time, I already graduated high school. I was about to go into the military. Cause I was like getting prepped to go in the military and all that other shit. But she told me that story. She told my father that story. She told the whole family that story. The next day, my father came up to the school, and it's funny that the guy that was the counselor, he used to be one of my computer teachers or something like that. But cool dude. And he go, fuck all that. What are y'all doing? Because the nigga done threw a chair at my daughter. And all that shit. All they did was suspend her name and spell them and all that other shit. And we was like, yo, that's bullshit. The nigga could literally, like, they moved my sister instead of moving him. I was like, why y'all moving my sister if he was the problem and all that other stuff? And it's fragile ego. Now, my father, being the protector, he gave my sister a switchblade. He said, keep this on you. Because if these niggas don't want to do nothing, I'm one of y'all going to have to do it. Now, I had 2 sisters. Now, the one that got hit was like my youngest sister. Now, my other sister, who was also younger than me, he gave her a knife. Like, he's like, because if anything happens, you gonna have to slice a nigga up. And now it's just now he just did it for protection because my father works. I like my older brother. He's somewhere. My older sister, she's somewhere. But you know, at one time, like on a different day, we all showed up to the school just to make sure she was good. I know I showed up with a baseball bat, and I had to. I was like, if I'd have saw the nigga, I'd have like broke his legs with a baseball bat because I was literally about to swing the nigga. Now, she saw me. Yeah, she could tell you. She was like, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Go to class." Because I was always protected. It was like, I'm not going to say like I'm the toughest dude in the room, but you're not going to fuck with my sister. It was like I had a bat. I was like, but since I didn't know or see what the nigga looked like. Now, Long story short, he stopped fucking with her. And I think he did get expelled or some shit like that, but he was like, it was just some weird shit. So I understand from a long part that, yeah, some of these niggas is like real fragile. So that's why I said, like, both of us, like both men and women are fragile. But the thing is, it's just like, women are more or less likely to tell you stories. I was like, I know niggas that is just like, one of my mans, like, he was in a relationship. Imagine this nigga like 6'2", 235, all muscle, right? And the girl he was dating at one point, 4'11", barely 100 pounds, soaking wet, like barely soaking wet. And then nigga used to tell me how she would hit on the nigga, and I'm like, I'm glad. Now the back of my mind was like, I'm glad you didn't hear him, because the nigga 6'3", 235 almost. The nigga was, he's slimmer now. I think he's down to like 185. He's still on muscle, but he's like more or less fighting, like he's at fighting weight. And trust me, the motherfucker knows martial arts and Muay Thai and some shit like that. Like, the nigga can really kill the bitch if he really wants to. Excuse me for calling the woman a bitch, but it was just one of those things where it's just like, it was like, but I also told him, I said, bro, you 6'2". You should not be letting no woman hit you on you. Now, that's not me telling him to hit her back, but it's just like, I'm gonna need you to not let that woman hit on you. I'm glad you didn't hit her back. And then they tell him, I'm glad you didn't hit her back, because you probably would have killed her. You know, like, one nigga's fist was bigger than her fucking head. But, like, he showed control. And then I know another dude that I worked when I was working at Pittsburgh. Nigga's like 6'5". And a good 300 pounds. Strong dude. He's like Mark Henry. He's like Mark Henry strong. And he gentle. Big gentle teddy bear. I don't know, I've told this story before, but big gentle teddy bear, right? Like, nice dude. Nice fucking dude. But you could tell he didn't like, I don't know, but he's like, he done had the fights before where he has definitely been the victor by a landslide. But he told me, like, his wife at one point was like that. It was just abusive. It was just like abusive. It was just would mentally abuse him, would physically abuse him, and all that other stuff. Until one day he snapped and knocked her head through the washer and dryer. And then the next day she cooked him breakfast. Again, the funny thing was, he was after he hit her, he was just like, he was very apologetic, because he really didn't want to do that. But you pushed that man, but she pushed him to the point where he just snapped it. You don't know when niggas snap in moments. But it's like, she cooked him breakfast, and I guess she never did it again. But it shouldn't even have to go that far. But, and again, it's just like, the dudes, like I said, I haven't seen him since, I haven't seen him in years. I hope he's doing well, but that motherfucker, he was just like, he was a nice dude, but it was just like, you can't be fucking with people like that. And I know some stories, like, even then, I know some stories, like, some of these dudes, they with women that just mentally abuse them to make them feel like they ain't shit. And y'all don't see the stories. It's just, but then again, I know stories of the same thing, vice versa. That's what the tit for tat is. And if I have 10 stories of women abusing men, and you have 10 stories of men abusing women, there is a problem. There is a problem in the community, and it needs to be fixed. And I'm sorry that it took me a long way to say this, but it's just, we finally here. If I have 10 stories of women abusing men, and you have 10 stories of men abusing women, there is a problem in the community that we need to look at. And how do we solve this? Why did this happen? So sometimes context matters. A lot of you women hit on men, and then, like, when the nigga finally snap back at you, you're the victim. It's like, not knowing. That's why I tell people I need context. Oh, he an abuser. Why did he hit her? Because, like I told this one girl, because she forgot, for some reason, she thinks that ninjas, all of a sudden, we get in a relationship, we slap bitches. I said, no, that's not how it works. I said, we don't just wake up and want to hit a bitch. It was like, and if he does, he has mental problems. But when have you ever seen a man just wake up, look at this woman, and just go, like slap him across the head. When have you seen that? You've never seen that. But but like I said, like if we need to find out there's deeper problems in community to prevent that, especially because the shit sometimes it does get bring down to fucking generations. Like sometimes your kids are seeing that, and it's just like maybe that's where they feel like that's how you treat a woman. Now, granted, like if they like it's learned behavior. Most of this abuse is learned behavior. Like if your daughter seeing you fucking curse out man and talk about niggas ain't shit, and I'm seeing it now with other young girls. This is just like, oh, these niggas ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit. It's like you can't be bringing that shit down because that shit is toxic. Especially when someone that's not shit comes to you and treats you like a fucking plant. You don't know how to treat the nigga. And that was the one thing I told my ex. I was just like, yo, I'm not the niggas that you like that's trying to use you. If anything, I'm trying not to use you. I'm trying to learn. Because the one thing, like she was more established, and I admit that she was more established than I was. And I never was jealous of that, but I was just like, I wanted to show her that I can take care of myself. You don't have to take care of me, because she was in her past relationships, and she told me she was always the one taking care of the shit. The niggas was borrowing her car and all that other stuff, and like I didn't want to do that. It was just like I wanted to show her that I'm capable of taking care of myself, and to a point where that shit was a problem in itself. And I was like, and that shit confused me, because it was just like, because there was times she didn't want to help me, and I was just like, nah, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I don't want to ask you. I don't want to just rely on. I appreciate it though. And I said, if I'm ever in a deep where I really need you, I will call you. But other than that, if I feel like I can figure it out, I'm good. And again, I'm stubborn that way. It's just like, because I don't like asking for help. And that's just me. I don't like asking for help a lot. To where niggas is like, even father was just like, nigga, if you need help, you need help. And to me, Moses just like, I got it. I'm that nigga. It's just like, I don't care if I'm drowning and I ain't got 1 HP left, and the nigga, I got it, nigga. It's just, don't worry about it. No, nigga, you need this. Trust me, I was like that. I'm still like that. I'm still working on it. But and then that's it's probably my ego. It's just like always saying I got it, and me being stubborn to the point where it's just like it even falls into fighting games, and I'm just like, and like father would tell me, "You are so stubborn, nigga." It's just so stubborn. It's just because I feel like I can just do it. It's just, but again, tit for tat. Sometimes sometimes it's really about finding the root of the problem so we can solve it. Tit for tat doesn't do nothing. It's just like, it's like a tally list. It's like a tally list of who is more who's more of a victim. And it's just like, why are we keeping score for something like that instead of just solving the problem? Hey, okay, we're both victims in our own real way. What are we doing to solve for that? Because I tell people all the time, it's not just women are the problem with the black community. It's not just men are the problem with the black community. We all in general are a problem. We all need to fix ourselves, whether it's separately or with each other, but we need to fix ourselves. But I also need to know, like, is that the person you with is someone you're gonna ride out for. Because it's another thing where women say, like, I don't want to be a ride or die for a nigga that don't appreciate me. Okay, I understand that. But what about the nigga that do all the things? Are you gonna ride out for him? Because if he do shit for you, obviously it's like he wants you to ride out for him or some shit like that. But because of your last relationship, there we go. Because of your last relationship, you're probably scared to do that because you feel like it's gonna hurt you. But even though the nigga didn't show that he doesn't want to hurt you, you still skeptical about this shit. It happens. It really does. It happens in relationships. Like, a man always got to prove himself that he's worth doing for her, and then it's just like we get into this conundrum. But to me, typically that don't work. Again, women, I know these stories. Like, we don't see these stories. If anybody seen What's Love Got to Do with It, Ike Turner was a menace. He was a fucking menace. But, and like what, Why Did I Get Married? Yeah, Why Did I Get Married? Like, we also, like, the nigga Mike, yeah, I think it was Mike, had fucking Jill Scott motherfucking take a fucking car up in the winter in Colorado with the snow while motherfucking his side chick was there and some shit like that. It was just like, what the fuck? Everybody, that's the more I talk about that story or that movie, the more and more it's just fucked up. Because niggas just, and like, because a lot of people just let that slide in that house. You let your wife. That's a different rant. In conclusion, tit for tat doesn't work, but it does show that there is a bigger problem that we need to figure out, and that's all I'm trying to say. Let me know what you guys think. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.